So the moderators of tonight's presidential debate offered some fact-checking of some of the most egregious whoppers in the debate. And 9 News political reporter Marshall Zellinger is along to review some more moments that could use some context. Marshall, you whipped up a truth test for us.
A mini truth test for the time that I had, because with the ability to have some time after hearing a statement, I was able to find some statistics that can help provide more information on why something former President Trump said was not true and why something Vice President Kamala Harris said needs more context that might make what she seem less impressive. Let's start with Trump on immigration and crime.
Crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
Except that's a false statement. Earlier this summer, the libertarian Cato Institute released a 10-year study on migrant crime in Texas. It showed that migrants with and without documentation had lower conviction and arrest rates than native-born Americans from 2013 to 2022. The takeaway from this chart is the higher the bar, the higher the conviction and arrest rate by native-born Americans, not migrants. One of the key moments for Vice President Kamala Harris was to explain a position change. In 2019, while running for president then, she said there was no question she was in favor of banning fracking. Her current campaign said that she no longer says that she wants to ban fracking, which would require some help from Congress anyway. Here is Harris tonight.
Let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States, and in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking.
Let's take her answer in pieces. She has not banned fracking as vice president. True, it's also not in her power as vice president. About being the tie-breaking vote that opened new leases for fracking, let's look at the numbers. In the first year of the Biden-Harris presidency in 2021, new oil and gas leases on public lands dropped from where it was at 900 to 407, then dropped considerably. And in the first year after her tie-breaking vote, the number of new leases bumped up just a little bit in 2023. Again, those are some just bite-sized truth tests on a 90-minute debate. I know, Kyle, at the start of this newscast, you touched on some of what was said at the start of the debate, and it may seem minor as we're digging into these numbers, but there's a point to why both candidates said what they said, and it's to create a connection with a possible voter hearing some buzz thing that if you don't have the stats behind it, maybe you don't know it's a full lie, full truth. It just clearly needs more context.
And you know, for a second there, Marshall, we thought that Donald Trump might actually be fact-checking a lie that he's propagated for years, the election rigging lie, the claim that he won the 2020 election, because over the past week, he said in an interview, "I lost it by a whisker." And ABC News asked him about that, and they said, "Are you acknowledging for the first time that you really did lose?" He doubled down on the lie.
And you know, in Colorado, we've dealt with this twofold, both on the western slope with former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters, and we saw it with the effort to try to keep Donald Trump off the ballot altogether. And the fact that I think it's more of being asked the same question again, or like reiterating that it gave him the opportunity to think about it and then go for it because he was given more time. Often those follow-up questions, Kyle, get a little more color than maybe what the candidate wants to do.
In this case, we learned that the aberration was when he told the truth this past week about the election. Now he's back to where he was. Marshall, thank you.